Hi everyone. So today I want to try out a couple things. I picked up this paper anthology, the Christmas paper anthology on HSN the other day. It's the Anna Griffin one. Gorgeous. I went through it in an unboxing video when the haul came in, so I'm not going to go through each and every sheet right now, but it is just really gorgeous Christmas paper. And I haven't used this set yet. This, I don't even know what it's called. Let's see. This angel set from Anna Griffin, also picked up on HSN, 3D Angelic Slimline dies. So I'm going to try them out today. If they are still available, I will link them in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. With YouTube, they do have an affiliate relationship with HSN, so it might be embedded in the videos, depending on how you're watching. It might be right under the video title. It might say shop products or show products, or maybe like a little shopping bag. I would really appreciate it if you use those. It helps keep the channel running, and that's what I'm here for, guys, to give you some ideas and just have fun. So thanks for using them if you would like. We're just going to get right to it. And I love making boxes, and of course Christmas time is like the time for making boxes, but I just really like box making, right? So I think what I'm going to do with the angel is just maybe pop the angel on. I was going to make a slimline box, but I'm like, I don't know. So I think it needs to be big enough to hold the angel, at least. Probably with the background piece too, just so she really pops. So let me see how big this is, and then we'll go from there. She's about 6 inches tall, so let's say the box should be at least 6.5 inches, and then maybe 6.5 tall, let's say 4.5 inches wide. That way she's in there, maybe some other cute stuff, and then like a little sentiment or something, I don't know. 6.5 by 4.5, sure. We're just gonna go for it. So let me see if I should write that down. On the smallest scrap of paper there has ever been. 6.5 by 4.5, or 4.5 by 6.5, however. So these are 12-inch papers. They're gorgeous. They're lovely. They are not double-sided, which is I think really cool. I was trying to think. I was thinking about doing an acetate lid, but I've done that in the past for you guys, so it's not the biggest deal. Just instead of paper, use acetate, you know. Let's see. What would look... That's kind of out there. Do we go with the top one? The one that's on top already? That's kind of boring now. Oh, how about this one? Okay, let's go with this. And then for the base, I'm not going to use this gorgeous, more kind of costly paper. We can just use something in our stash that coordinates. So if I can find a red that's like this color, that's what I'll do. Or gold or green. Or, oh, gold would be pretty. That, let's see. I always have gold paper nearby, and this is like a shiny gold, and this is from Hunky Dory. The only thing is this will keep the size of the box smaller because it's not a 12-inch piece of paper. Oh, it's okay. I mean, it's gonna be in the bottom, but still. That bothers me. Well, let's see what the sizing is gonna be. Let's talk about that first. So if I have my box lid, and I like a good sizable box lid, like let's say it has 1-inch sides. Okay, so that means when you're designing this, and it's just 6.5 by 4.5, that's the very top of your box. You're going to want 1-inch sides. That adds 2 inches all around, right? 1 inch on top, 1 inch on the bottom, side and side. So we need that to be at least 8.5 by 6.5. That's for the lid. Now, if you have a box maker, like type of thing, you're just going to follow along with what your box making scoring guide tells you. But you can still cut your papers exactly the same. I think I want the base to be deeper, and that might be the problem. Well, maybe no. It might be okay. Let me grab another piece of paper, though. I don't like the way that one's dented. I was going to say the next one's probably going to be dented, too, and it is. Okay, how about this one? The one on top is not. I don't know what happened to those papers in the back, but that's okay. So if our box lid is 6.5, like the box itself 6.5 by 4.5, then the paper, this one, our box lid, needs to be 8.5 by 6.5. And the bottom one, maybe I do want it to be like an extra inch. Let me think. If I do that, that'd be 10.5 by 8.5. Oh, see? This is A4 paper, and this is only 8.25. So let's not add a whole inch. Let's add 3/4 of an inch. So it's 1 3/4 deep, right? So that would add 3/4, 1.5, so 9.5, 10, so it'd be 10 by, again, what did I say? Why am I getting confused? Oh, 3/4, so again, 1.5, so 7 by 8. Does that seem right? 10 by 8. Let me make sure my numbers are good, and then we'll go from there. Okay. I know that seemed weird, but I'm making up these numbers in my head. You can do this easily, I'm sure. So this for the lid. Now, in the past I've shown you guys how you can add some layers here or take it away or whatever, because your box lid has to be slightly larger than your box base for this to work. I'm probably going to use a box maker, so whatever your box maker says, go with it. But if you're doing this from scratch, I have tons of videos on that. You guys can refer back to those. You're just going to score one of these either a little bit larger at like 1/16 of an inch all around larger, or you're going to score one 1/16 of an inch smaller. Okay, so like you need a 16th either here or here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you're putting it in the box base, that means it needs to be like, if you go to score my inch and, what did I say, 1 3/4 all around, you're going to do, instead of 1 3/4, you're going to do a little bit more than 1 3/4. Okay, so that when you fold it, this base ends up being a little bit smaller than the lid. Hope that makes sense. Or you score this one, giving it a 1/16 of an inch less. So if I was going to go score this 1 inch around, because I have 1 inch sides, I would actually score 15/16 of an inch. 15/16, 15/16, 15/16, 15/16. So that way when you fold it, it's actually a little bit bigger than the base. I hope that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but that's okay. Okay, 8.5 by 6.5. So I do want this guy to be 6.5 in this direction. Let's see, 6.5. And then 8.5 in the other direction. I'm telling you, whenever I don't know what content to make, or like, what should I show you guys? A box always does it for me. I love making boxes. So, okay. And then we have all this gorgeous paper we can still use for something else. And then this is 10 by 8. So, I mean, I can cut a 1/4 inch off. I can fudge my numbers so that the 1/4 inch can be out a bit. It'll be wonky numbers, and I don't want you guys to, like, not to have wonky numbers. So, let's go 10 on this side. What's interesting about A4 paper is it's almost 12 inches long, but not quite. And then by 8, so I have to take a 1/4 off. And I mean, honestly, if I was just here at home making this up myself, I would probably just play with the numbers in a fun way. Oh, what am I doing? Hello, this way. So I know this scoring tool or cutting tool, from here to here is a 1/4 inch, and from there to there is a 1/4 inch, so I can just use it for that purpose without even having guides on here. Yeah, no, and you guys know I broke my Spellbinders paper trimmer. That's why I'm gonna use a box maker instead of coming up with the numbers myself. But if you're just scoring it, all you have to do, like I said, score this one so it's just a little bit smaller than the top one, and that's it. Okay, does this have... Oh, it does. So this is, I'm telling you, I have like every iteration of the Crafter's Companion scoring boards. I have this guy that's like middle, it's kind of skinny one. I have the big guy that goes like, I don't even know. It's like this huge and super long, to make bigger boxes. If you have bigger paper, of course, that's why I hardly ever use it. I have the hunky-dory ones. Like, it's, you know, whatever you have. But these guys do have a measuring guide on top that says box lid. So you measure from this side, and then box base, you measure from this side. Some scoring boards make you turn it and then go, you know, which I guess doesn't really matter. You can just hold it here and you know it's the same thing. But anyway, just do whatever your scoring board tells you. Now, I just score on one side, and then I score backwards from that. Let me show you what I mean. I don't know why I can't find this guy. It's around here somewhere. So I've been using this one, and it's not, look at it, has like a seam that's kind of scratchy. So like I have to be real careful when I use this. But anyway, on this side, I'm using the right side of the paper, but if you don't like that, turn it over and score on the back side. And I might, because this thing is scratchy. But usually what I do is I score, so 1 inch all around. And on the next one, we're gonna have some fun. Let me do this. So unfortunately, I mean, I'm gonna use this box lid and box base, so I'm doing the lid. So 1 inch, right? But usually I score on this side, and I also fold on that side. But since I scored on the back, I'm gonna fold the opposite direction. But what do you guys do? See how it leaves like a lump? I usually score on the right side I want, and then I fold down, you know, away from that. So today that's not gonna happen, but that's okay. So we have that one. If you don't have a box maker and you're gonna go score your box base, I'm gonna turn this over again because I don't want to score on this side. It's nice and delicate. When I go to score, right now we're supposed to score at 1 3/4, right? But if I score exactly at 1 3/4, this lid is going to be the exact same. It's not going to have the space you need, you know, that little indentation that you need for the lid to fit onto the box base. So I'm going to go over here and say 1 3/4, but don't do that. And don't do 1 1/8, like an eighth more, because an eighth is actually a lot, and you're going to be almost a 1/4 inch smaller, and it's just going to be floppy. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to fit snugly. You need it to be a 1/16. So when I go to do 1 3/4, and let's say I have a better scoreboard than this one, because this one only does eighths. If you have one that does 1/16, go for it. That's why it's nice to use a paper trimmer that has a scoring, because you can line it up on the 1 3/4 plus a 1/16, right? So 1 3/4 would be here, and then plus a 1/16 would be right in between these. And then do the next one, and do the 1 3/4 plus the 1/16. And then, so when you go to score it, it's just a little bit smaller all around, and your lid will fit on it perfectly, okay? But I'm going to do box base from this side, and they have it so that you don't have to flip it around or whatever, so it's just 1 inch, 2 inches already there for you. So I'm going to take this over here, and I'm going to do 1 3/4. So here's 1, and this is accounting for that 1/16. That's why it's, see how it's indented where 1 starts? It's a bigger space than where 1, you know, it starts over here. I hope that makes sense. So they're accounting for that. That's how this thing works. So 1 3/4 is here. Actually, I'm going to turn it around because this is kind of annoying. I know this one you don't have to flip it, but it's weird to score it in the other direction. And you can't go by the numbers on the top because the numbers on the top correspond with the lid. So 1 3/4. Okay. And just do a couple gentle indentations. You don't want to just like really do it very hard. So there's that one. 1 3/4 again. Again, if you're doing this on something that's not a box lid or box base maker, you're going to want to just move over the 1/16 and then do your score. So 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. And we do lots of fun things here on this channel, like boxes that are like cut into, they have an aperture, like all these things, but we're going to keep it simple today with the pretty papers and our beautiful angel on top. Okay, I need scissors at this point. A couple ways of doing this, and somebody says, you know, I always do it the same way where I do a pinwheel kind of thing, so I cut right here on this score line right up to where it meets, and then cut a divot, and then I turn it, I do the same thing, cut straight up, cut a divot. There are other ways to make it a little more clean so that it's the same on both sides. So like right here, I would cut up here, right, where it meets, and then make a divot. And then I would do the same thing here. Because what happens is, when you do it the other way, like I do, like a little pinwheel, you're going to have a rough edge on every side that you look at. But if you do it this way, you only have a rough edge here and over here, instead of every angle having a rough edge. So I'm going to turn it over. Just another way of doing it. Do whatever you like. And the reason you divot that little piece out, just so it sits in nicer. And I always talk about these things because, you know, I don't know where people are in their paper crafting journey, excuse me. And maybe you have no idea. So again, this guy, I'm going to turn it over so I can see the score lines better. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut up here, straight to where that meets up, divot away. Oh, see, I was going to go with my old habit. I go here and I go cut it away, and then I turn it, I go here and I cut away. But no, we're going to do the same thing. I'm telling you. I think one time I did a video where one was one way and one was the other, because I'm so used to doing the other way. So again, here we're not going to pinwheel it. We're just going to do the same thing. And it just looks a little nicer, that's all. A little more nuanced. Okay, so now we're going to score on our score lines. And these little score lines, you just made glue tabs essentially, right? And we're going to glue those together, and I do the same thing with the base. And you can come up with whatever numbers you need, however deep you need it to be. Maybe these are going to hold some truffles, or maybe it's going to hold a cupcake, right? And you want it like a nice 4-inch box or something. Whatever numbers you need, it'll work great. I did have clippies. I don't know where they are right now, so I'm just going to hold this. With Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, it just holds pretty quickly. It grabs really quickly, should I say. So there you go. Glue tabs. Just lining them up on the edge, but also on this, on the side. So you have a nice box. This is a very traditional, cute design. This is what I'm saying. So now you have a rough side here, right, where that cut is. And you have it over here, but then this side looks just nice. And if you pinwheel it, it's going to have, you're going to see a rough cut all around, you know. So with this one, same thing. I'll be a little more delicate with it, but, and you know, I didn't bring out a scoring tool, but if you want to use a scoring tool to score everything really nicely, you can definitely do that. It does give it a more crisp look. And just like I did the top, I'm going to glue these here and glue these guys on the other side, right? And I will be right back, and then we'll see how our lid and box fit together. Still wet, and I will say the one thing is with a wet glue and you have a slippery surface, it's not going to dry very quickly, but that's okay. I love the little bells on this. This is so cute. Alright, so let's try this out, and it should theoretically fit perfectly because we did use a box maker. And there you go. So like I said, it's nice and snug. You don't want to score an extra 1/8 of an inch because if you do that all around, like I said, it'll be a 1/4 inch, and this will just like not hold on. So if you give yourself a 1/16 of an inch all around, more or less, right, depending on if you're putting it in the hat, if you're putting it in the top or if you're taking it from the bottom, you can do that. And then that leaves it an 1/8 of an inch all around smaller, and that's what makes it so it slides on really nicely. And then again, 1 inch top, 1 3/4 inch sides, so that's what it looks like. And it came out really nicely. All right. Again, if you want to do this, let's just repeat the numbers. The box is 6.5 by 4.5, and it's actually 1 3/4 inches deep, right? Because that side is 1 3/4 inches. The top paper was 8.5 by 6.5. The base paper was 10 by 8. And then we scored the top one at 1 inch all around, and we scored the base one at 1 3/4 inches all around. And if you are using your own paper trimmer to do that, you need to either add a 1/16 of an inch all around here, right? Or take it away from the bottom. Okay, I think we talked about that enough. All right, so let's get this, guys. So funny, the images of this little guy, you know, she has her trumpet and her halo. Well, the halo's fine, we can pop it on there. But the trumpet and all of the images, they cut into the little hand to hold it. Otherwise, it's going to go over the hand and it looks kind of silly. So I guess we will do that too with like a X-Acto knife. And I'm not going to do any paper piecing. We are done with this, you know, other than running it through. Oh my goodness. It's really on there. All right. Ooh, sorry guys, that was loud. So, I really want to do like gold and stuff. So yeah, it'll be kind of like this one. So what I'm going to do is run this through some cream colored paper. That's kind of boring, right? Should I do red? No, I'll just do cream colored paper just to keep it kind of light and bright. I'm going to run this one through some gold paper. And I'll run these two through some silver or maybe matte gold and shiny gold. How about that? Okay, so matte gold, shiny gold. I'll be right back. Don't you love when you have a scrap that will like literally just work? Look at that. And you know how I am. I'll cut this top piece off so it's pristine. All right, I'll be back. That's a lot of pressure. That's very detailed, and I just ran it through the marquee. Okay, looks pretty good. Let me clean up, and then we'll cut this and we'll layer everything up. I'll be right back, guys. So, let's see where this is supposed to go. So like right there. Okay, yeah. So I guess it can go in front of this hand, but then behind this one, right? So you kind of have to really look at that. I'm using an X-Acto knife, or however. Eesh, where does it go? Like, if this is the little hand, I know it's hard to see maybe, but I'm gonna follow in here. Try to make a little cut. Ooh, that's not great. And then go through here. Oh, that like totally ripped open, which is weird. Let's see. I have no idea. It just kind of ripped anyway. I think because of the pressure of the machine, you know. So it just kind of tore open anyhow. But either way, you're trying to get this under here. Not quite going up as high as I want it to. I don't see why not. Okay. I have to glue all that back. Okay. Very good. Okay. I need to go a little bit higher. And I'll show you what I cut. Like a little hand there. It basically need to go in there. And so let me put some glue here. All through there. All there. Get a little bit closer. I don't know if it helps at all because it's so glary and gold, but there you go. We're going to put this, come on. Right in there, yeah. Right up through here. Okay. The angle is like not the same where it came from, where it's going here. What? You know what I'm saying? There's this part, but let me cut a little more. See if I can get this up here. Good thing this is slippery paper because it would have stuck already, but it's not sticking quite yet. Okay. I'm trying to hold that by its mouth. My little angel mouth, otherwise it looks kind of funky. There we go. And then we also need a little glue under the hand to get that back down. So I'm going to hold this for a while, guys, and I'll be back. Okay, maybe I'm not going to physically hold it. I just put something down and put some weight on it. I'll be back. Okay, guys. So again, with your boxes, you're like, how much are we trying to do? You know, are you trying to really deck them out? What are we doing? And it also depends on time, right? How much time you have. So let me raise this up. And I'm just going to glue that down, and then we'll do our halo. So, yeah, I mean, it's relatively flat there. I mean, if you want to put some dimension between this guy and that guy, the base, you can definitely do that. And let's get this on here. So I try to put a little bit of glue, especially when you have some shiny papers, but it always ends up on top. And usually I wait till it's dry and then I just kind of rub it off. So I don't know. I was going to say that, you know, I ran this through the marquee and I think it did something here. Can you see that? Where the outline isn't quite right. Should I just run it through again? It's not the biggest deal. It actually doesn't look bad. It looks like a drop shadow. I guess I'm just going to stick it down. But it did move the edges of the die, you know, obviously. And that. So if you want to, obviously run it through again. And I'm just going to put a little glue here. Again, I try not to put too much. I'm going to a little dab there and a little dab there. And pop that where the halo is. That's very pretty. And again, some more weight on top, and I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to grab like a sentiment possibly. Let me see. Yeah, it's very pretty. We'll see about the sentiment. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with that, but I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I grabbed this box of sentiments, and they are very gold and all that, so I'm going to see what I want to do. Because there's a lot of gold going on here. It's kind of blending in very well. I love the little bells in the background. So pretty. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I just used this in another video and I remember seeing peace. So if we had peace, I think that's very nice. Oh, what are we doing? Okay. I mean, that's gorgeous. But, you know, I was thinking like it blends in too much, right? I mean, I guess you can still see it even if it was like that. I really like showing the bells off. Okay, let's put that right there. I grabbed this. I've ordered this twice before in my life because I couldn't find the other one that I initially had. And I'm thinking maybe some red, just to bring that red back, and then maybe it'll help us kind of blend everything together. So I'm just going to run this through the little, well, which one? This one? And then maybe peace? No, like, maybe. Right? I mean, this one has a double, which is very cute. I'm thinking this one, this simple one with some red paper. I'll be right back. Anyways. Oh, it's so pretty. Still classic. Love it. Okay. So, I mean, we can have... Actually, she could be floating down in there like that, right, too? That might be okay. I'll still put it like this. And then just a little piece on there. I don't know. I love this. So pretty. Okay. I'm just gluing everything down, but again, you can definitely put some dimension under all these things. Pretty. Just something like that. You might be hearing Hallmark movies in the background. Sorry. Oh, I should clean this out too. So let me get all these little bits out and I'll be right back. All right. So clear that up. That's very pretty. Oh my gosh. I mean, I love the little swag and everything, but I just need something to help me keep that. Okay, I'm gonna hold that down too, and I'll be right back. I actually took the lid off and just kind of pushed from behind here just to make sure everything's down. And there it is, guys. A really gorgeous box with beautiful papers, lovely details. So thanks for watching, guys. I will link whatever may be available in the description box, again, possibly embedded in the video here. And images will be coming up, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.